Okay, I am very sorry. There's a way of going about this. I could, you have no idea. Uh, oh man, that was pretty rough. That, this is going to be funny later. You guys are going to think it's hilarious. Um, but, yeah, let me make this bigger here. Sorry about that. All right, so I thought I was live for like a full few minutes. I was late getting started, so I'm sorry. I was late getting started. That's my bad. But I thought I was live. I don't go live enough. It's a problem. I was like talking to myself for a short spell, and but now I'm actually live. Now I'm actually here, and the embarrassment can cease. Uh, kind of. We're going to be talking about a few different things in this video. Primarily, I want to talk about Action Hero, but I have thoughts on Dinohab. I don't know if you guys have played that. Um, we've also got some short VR news, and we've got giveaways. In total, I'll be giving away 4 keys to Action Hero. I'll also, at the end, be telling you how you can win a MetaQuest 3S. I already gave one of those away. I think it was a Quest 3 that I gave away earlier this year. And that's going to be interesting. It's going to be controversial. I'm happy with the process, but it's going to be fun. Everything's going to be okay. And then I'm also going to be giving away a combination, the Anapro battery head strap, Halo strap, and the accompanying charging dock. So we got a lot to give away. Thank you for being here. If you guys are here, chime in. Feel free to ask any questions you got. A long time ago, once upon a time, I had a, what's the word? I had YouTube memberships. And then I did away with it because I was busy. I was being pulled in these different directions. You know that Kevin Costner's Horizon movie. I landed this part in the second film that hasn't aired yet. It's got lines, and I got to take Kevin's hat, and it's a whole thing. And though that was just like, a week or something out of my time, the process of making movies, that and then my own projects, I was just being pulled in different directions, and I was having trouble kind of buckling down and like providing something of value to my audience. And I didn't want to rip anyone off. I wanted to make sure if you were joining, then you joined and you were getting something for it, and that wasn't happening. So Truth 7 says Merry Christmas. I've been on the shelf on Action Hero. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. I think, are you saying that because I guess you wouldn't have tried it by now. So, no, we can talk about it. Yeah. And thanks, you guys. Pixelated Traveler and 10 Speed. It's good to see you, man. I hope you had a good Christmas, too. Anyway, talking about YouTube memberships, I started that up again because I think I fixed the expectations to where I'm not offering something that's so wild that it's just eating me alive, but early access and private videos for members only, largely to do with giveaways down the line. I think I mentioned in my previous video that I have just a closet full of stuff, and that's where I'll be giving that stuff away moving forward. And so of these 4 codes I have that I'm giving away, the first one is going to go to the first person that joins memberships again. And if you don't feel like you can do that, that's perfectly fine. I have 3 more I'm giving away, and there are no strings attached. So, but just so you know, if that's you, if you do it, let me know. Find me on Discord, and I'll privately DM you that code. Getting in to Action Hero. I've got some footage here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can... What am I doing here? Okay, there we go. So the footage you're seeing here is just me setting up my room. But, okay, this is Action Hero. And I've got the volume down somewhat so you can hear me. But I can't hear the volume right now. I guess I could put on headphones. I could put on headphones. Hang on. What? No way. I guess it's best I hear this thing. Give me 1 second here. Okay, says it's connected, and I just gotta... I can't hear any of that. Can you guys hear? Let me look at the comments here. Yeah, Casey. It's good to see you. I'm not on Discord that often anymore. Casey has been kind of the one behind, just making sure that our Discord channel runs proper. And it's been extremely helpful. Can you guys tell me if... you can hear the volume to this game I've got here. When you don't have any guns, your my meter shows that it should be kind of medium to low volume right now. But I can't hear anything. Undoubtedly, it's a me problem. You can hear it. Okay. A grenade, for instance. Well, if that's the case, then... Let's get this set up again.
Remember to take it slow. Plan your moves and then...
Sorry guys, bear with me. Just for 1 tick.
This could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Okay, hero. Time to raid some lost temples and shoot some baddies. Let's move on. That's it.
I don't know. It says it's connected, but it's not showing up. Let's try this.
Fantastic. Next.
Okay, that says it should be working now.
Nice job.
Oh, I think it's just not going to let me hear it because I couldn't get my window capture to pick up VLC, and so I piped this directly into OBS. I think that's going to be the issue, but it's fine. All I care about is that the volume is not too loud, so keep an eye on it. Let me know, and I'll even turn it down just a little bit because I want it to be kind of background noise. Oh, it's a tad low. Okay, sorry. Jeez, I'm sorry. Alright, tell me if that's good. And then if it is, I'll leave it there and I won't touch it again, I promise.
Yes.
Alright, so Action Hero is, it's a lot like, super hot in the sense that when you move, time moves with you. And if you don't move, time stops. The guys who made that game also created, they've got a new, what's it called? A new one where it's cold, it's ice, and they shatter similarly. This, you kind of play an action
ready
hero.
for the next act?
And it's interesting. It's like you're a stuntman on set. You see, right now we're in level 2, World 2. And this one is Lost World. And so the idea is that you're supposed to follow through on these maneuvers. Okay, ready, set, action. These guys are coming at you. And you're supposed to take them out in so many moves. And, like, the director will yell at you if you don't get it right. And it's not easy. It's almost kind of a Groundhog's Day type situation where if you fail, you'll start over at the very beginning. Like 4 levels in, you'll go back to the beginning of that chapter that you're on. And it's the most aggravating, horrible, fun thing that I've played in a while. Like, it's fun. It's really cool. It feels great, and it's annoying. It's so aggravating because there's so many levels where you're not going to get any of it the first time, ever. Period. Like, you're not. I don't care how good you are at VR and gaming. You're not going to get through it every time the first time because there are levels where, like, you're on an elevator and there are 4 doors, and it's your first time. No idea what's going to happen. And one door will open, and maybe a guy just fired a shotgun, and they're like the bullets are 3 feet from your face. Or maybe it's the door in front of you, and someone's just thrown a machete. Or maybe it's the door to your right, and it's a bunch of raptors mid-air kind of jumping towards you. And you never know. There's a room where there's a jewel thief, and he's dropped down from the ceiling, and he's taken something, a sack of jewels off of a podium, and the alarm goes off, and suddenly lasers come down from the ceiling, and fine, they're coming down from the ceiling, but then they switch and they're coming at you, and then they come from behind you, and then they come spinning, and then like 4 different sets of lasers all at once, and you can't see all around you at once. You have to like die 8 times to memorize the process. Like the dinosaurs? What do you mean? But yeah, there are dinosaurs in it. But I mean, right now the dinosaurs are the best part of it for me, just because everything in this has a like a ragdoll effect, you know. And it doesn't matter. Like, you could throw a wrench, you could shoot, you could just kind of tap, and whatever you do, as long as you make contact with them, it counts as a hit, as a kill. And so even the raptor, you just kind of punch it in the face as it's flying by you. And so it's easy in that sense, but it's also difficult because a touch from them also means disaster. See, here we go. Right now we're dealing with raptors. And I did good here. We're on to level 3. Sorry for the grid. Yeah, raptors. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, truth 7. Yeah, it's surprising. Raptors. Like, this whole chapter is the Lost World. And so as you can see here, it's kind of almost like an Indiana Jones situation. You got barrels. Well, I'm glad I sold you. I'm glad. And I'm sure I'm going to die here. Let's watch this for a second. And if you don't want to kind of wait for time to, like, if you don't want to go like this and move your hands to make time progress forward, you can hold either A or, is it Y? Same button on the left controller. And that causes time to kind of move forward. And see, I just hit that guy with a gun. The fun thing about it is that you die so many times. And as aggravating as it is, you get to the point where you're John Wick. You know exactly what's coming. There's this part which I'm not going to play this whole thing. It's 45 minutes long. I'll jump around here and there. But there's this part where you've got one guy in front of you with two guys in front of you with machine guns. And then there's two guns on the table in front of you. And the second you move, not like half a second, the moment you twitch, they fire their guns. And they're like 4 feet from you. And so you have to, and I got to preface this by saying that anytime you shoot somebody or kill them, however, whatever, the guns that they were holding always tend to fly into your, field of grabability. Like, so you can, almost always, it'll come to you. And so you have to shoot these guys and then catch their machine guns. And then after a while, I got so good at it that I just kind of did this. It kind of, to get these other two guys. And it's annoying that I had to play that level like 15 times. But it's also cool that, like, you get to learn the map so intimately, so annoyingly, that you do start to feel like a badass. You do start to understand, okay, first, second, grab, shoot, sideways, throw gun, grab the wrench out of the air, whack him across the head. And it's this whole thing. Let me read this here. Oh, did Super Hot not have a function like that? I haven't played Super Hot in like 2 years. I don't recall. But yeah,
Once more.
so I don't know. It's just rewarding. And I haven't trimmed this video at all. I haven't, like, I'm talking about the game here with you guys because I want to. But I'll be uploading a proper video on this as well, probably this weekend. And it'll be trimmed and nice and none of this dead air on my end.
That's the one.
But it is cool. It is cool getting good at it. And just getting lost in the game.
Slow is smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth is
See? And here's another thing. So there's limited ammo. You're expected to shoot a guy right here, grab the gun out of the air. Oh, and then I got shot. But when you screw up enough, Pixelated Traveler, I do. Hang on a second here. Okay, so yes, I do. I have 4 codes to give away during this stream. Those will be coming, but as I mentioned at the top of this hour, the first code, and it hasn't been grabbed yet, but the first code to go will be going to the first person to join memberships. If you can't afford that, perfectly fine. I completely understand. I have 3 more to give away over the course of this video, so no worries at all. But that's how we're going about that to begin. What was I talking about? Yeah, if you screw up enough in this game, it starts to feel bad for you, and they'll say, "Look, idiot, we got to finish this movie. It costs money. We don't have enough film." Like, that's the context that they talk to you in, because this is a movie. You're an actor. You're a stuntman. And so they give you a golden gun. And a golden gun is just a golden gun that when you enter the level for the first time, it's flying through the air, got to grab it, and it has unlimited ammo. And so it's kind of just a thing to kind of help you out, and it's really appreciated. I use it a lot, especially like 10 minutes, 15 minutes into a level, when it should only take me like 20 seconds. I just start to give up and fine, give me the golden gun. And even then, it's not easy. I mean, there are plenty of times where you got a guy in front of you, you got a guy behind you, someone behind you has fired a shotgun, you have 12 BBs a foot from your head, and you can either turn to duck from that, knowing he's back there because you've died 4 times, Or you can lift your hand and shoot the guy in front of you. Like, there's just too much going on. There's so much. It's so hard to, like... That's why I'm talking, like, it takes so much time getting good at a map. Some of these maps, even the first, like, hour of playing is so difficult. So right here... Okay. God. Oh, and then we got these barrels here. I'm learning the hard way right here. But those barrels are flying through the air. And I didn't know it, but they're going to explode at my feet. And that counts as a kill. I lose. And so you're expected to, anytime you see a barrel coming at you, you got to fire at it while it's in the air, causing it to explode away from you to save you. And I don't know if maybe this, maybe it's an upcoming sequence, but at the same time, dealing with that, there's this train car or a bus that's like rolling through the air and you have to duck. It's such an well, I'm forgetting right now which it was, but it's such an unforgettable experience because they make you play it for like 10 hours. Do they? I thought the marketing looked good. We need to watch it again. I was excited for it to begin with. I can say that this video's not doing it justice. The resolution does leave something to be desired. It feels like it's a pretty hungry game. And I haven't tried it yet, but the Quest Games Optimizer might be the way to go. I'm not entirely sure. You know, 20 minutes into it, I was used to it, and that was fine, good, but initially powering it on, I noticed that even the logo was quite pixelated, so that's something to keep in mind.
Well done.
I'm gonna jump ahead a short tad. In terms of the different weapons, oh, here we go. So this is... I'm not quite sure I died coming out because I'm not paying attention. Yeah. And this train car, gotta keep an eye out for it.
Giant statue. No!
Quest Games Optimizer is incredible. And you're saying they were all sandy desert environments. Well, I remember seeing the trailer for the first time back in like September. I was begging these guys for a copy. Meta came through and they hooked me up with something for review, but these guys didn't want to let go of it. I think they were working on it pretty deep into its like, what is it, December 19th review, something like that. And I just dropped the code. First one to grab it wins. Good luck. Thank you for being here.
That's it. Get it together. One more time.
This was a moment that I struggled with for quite a while. In fact, I don't know. Maybe it's not good if they could just shut up and watch a video, but I kind of want to. This sequence took like 45 minutes of my life. It was... I can't wait for you guys to suffer alongside me. It really is kind of a mix between like Super Hot and Pistol Whip. That's what it feels like. Pistol Whip with the traveling bullets. It's very much like Pistol Whip without the music, the beat to follow.
Golden guns can't run out of bullets. Use it, and let's move on.
And you can see that guy was over like by that furthest robot, but the gun still flew in my hand. Here we got the lasers. And see, I felt like I was in. I felt like I pulled it off, but I'm not sure if... I don't think it's taking into account my body. I think it's just the HMD, but it's still finicky. You got to be perfect with it. You got to be like far away from the beam. I'm going to jump ahead over here to... where am I? Look at this. I just jumped like 20 minutes and I'm still fighting the same robots. That's what I'm talking about. Some spoilers. I mean, I imagine you guys will appreciate the help, but, you know, through watching this, you're seeing the map and maybe getting a heads up on what this is going to be like, but this laser sequence, this is what I was talking about. And then it comes down on top, and it got me. And look, I had to start over. The thing I've been suffering with for like an hour, and now I'm back. They gave me a golden gun because I suck. And I still died. Golden gun, hit him over the head. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Just get it done. God, Lord, get me out of here. I still died. Oh, no, I made... No, yeah, I died. AF Animations. Hey, how you doing, man? Vindicated. Truth, you see?
You're great.
And so it's... I mean, this video could just be like 45 minutes of me complaining that this game was hard. But it's funny because it's like, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I was like sweating my ass off. Yeah, I was tired. Yeah, I wanted to progress to the next level. God, get me out of here. But at the same time, you have to die 50 times to start feeling like a badass, you know? And we won't watch me die another 50 times here. I'll jump around.
Great.
You do, right? Like, there's a thing where I just fire quicker, hit him over the head harder. Just, like, get me out of here. Daring escape. This is the map I was talking about where there's guys in front of you and guns on the table. And it took me a second to get used to this thing where I realized, okay, start with the guy in the middle, double hand the guys on the... double fist the guys on the sides, double shoot, and then... It's just, it takes forever to like get to understand where my focus needs to be in this thing. And eventually... Let's jump ahead. Jump ahead again. Because I want to get to the raptors. think right here I'd gotten the hang of it. And they had the forethought to give me the golden gun. Golden gun. See, they fire so fast. Like, it's so fast. Nope, still not getting the hang of it. See? 2 hands out at the side. It's the only way to, like, get it done proper.
Golden guns can't run out of time. Use it. Oh, well done. That's the one. Golden guns help any hero in its I guess that'll do.
All right, and we'll jump ahead to the Raptors, which was an equally difficult moment. So we're in an elevator, and it's all pretty straightforward with these guys. We have someone come to the door, and that's the thing. I mean, you have to die a few times to understand what door opens, where the people are, how quickly they shot, and get ahead of it.
Next scene. A golden gun. That will make things easier.
Oh, Bear of the West, I'm sorry. I don't know when you typed that, but it was... I had to scroll down to see it. What action movie would you like to see recreated in a VR game like this? That's tough. I mean, the obvious answers have already kind of been done, like, you know, John Wick, and even something like Indiana Jones. This starts with that, with the boulder scene, where you're trying to shoot these guys, and there's a crack in the wall, and a giant boulder comes kind of spilling out of the wall, and you got to get out of the way, and then it takes everyone out. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they did have a lot of creative ideas. In terms of what I would bring to it, well, not this, but in a VR game, I'd like to see... Yeah, so that's it. Let me do this. I'd like to see something with some pulp, you know, like Big Trouble in Little China. I think it'd be fun to be like, you know, on the streets, visiting the scene as Lopan does his thing, or in the sewers, you know, what's it called? The Dungeon of Eternal Souls or whatever that is with the water tank. I think that would be fun. That's less an action movie and more kind of a goopy horror thing, but I think that would be a blast. But I'm also a fan of, you know, that cult classic stuff. All right, so just to keep things moving along, that's the footage I have from the game. As a reminder, the first person to join that membership will grab one of the 4 keys for that game, free of charge. If that is you, if you end up doing it, then just find me on Discord and we'll figure it out. Additionally, if you guys want this game and in the end all the keys are eaten up, then using a link down below, which I think I have to update it. I'll update it in the description, but I can get you 20% off on this game, and it supports my channel. And additionally, if there's any game you want at all on the Meta Quest, I'm quite sure I can get you 20% off by fabricating a link. That's until the end of this month. After that, it's 10% off when January starts. I have to produce a link for you, though, for that to work. So if you want that, just comment and let me know. In the meanwhile, there's another code. You animals. Yeah. All right, so I want to talk about, just before I lose everyone, a previous video I did was to do with the Scaniverse. And I had showed a bunch of footage, but I've only uploaded, well, no, I've uploaded a few, but I only showed one upload on the Splat, meaning uploaded to the world. And in that video, it was a tree, like a desert tree. And here's how that Meta Quest 3 is going to go. It's going to be inconvenient for a few people. There was a part of me that was toying with the idea of going to that tree and burying a Quest 3S or something. But it doesn't matter how good I did it. I think the elements would get to it. And so it was just a bad idea. But so instead, I gave some vague directions as to where that tree was. And the first person to find that tree and create a duplicate Splat, I'm going to give a Meta Quest 3S to. Which means that you got to, like, you know, you got to have a reason to travel the country. You got to be on your way to Disneyland and stop there on the way. You got to live within, you know, a couple hundred miles of where I live. I don't know. You'll find a way. Right now, no one else has found it, but I explained broadly where it was. And you can find it on that map. And if you make a drive and find that tree and create your own scan of it, so then there will be 2 scans. If you do that, let me know on Discord. Share a link to the scan, and I'm going to send you a Meta Quest 3S. And I'm not associated with the Scaniverse. I haven't spoken to those people. I reached out asking for a short interview, as detrimental as that is to my channel. I uploaded the interview of a conversation I had with the developers of Thrasher and Thumper, and I had a great time with that, but God in heaven, that has like 80 views, and YouTube punished me for like a week and a half straight. Like, it didn't know what to make of that. And yeah, thank you, Truth. It is fun. I've been using it a lot. So much of my stuff is indoors. I can't upload it to, you know, the map. But that is how I'm going to be doing it. So you don't have to like pay to enter. You don't have to fill out any form. All you got to do is scan that tree. Which is readily available if you can find it. You know, it's not hidden. But the prospect of physically moving, you know, down a road and looking for it, that's something else. So it won't be for everyone, but I promise I'll ship that to you if you do it. As far as this head strap from Anna Pro, I mentioned at the top of the hour, I have the head strap and I have the accompanying charging dock. It's specifically formatted for, I mean, in the thing here, they show it on a Meta Quest 3S, but it'll work on either. It's a nifty device, and it's a Halo strap for those who insist on that. I do. And I'm trying to think of how I'm going to give that. I haven't thought about it. I don't know how I'm going to give it away. I know I don't want to like start a Gleam. I don't want to do that. Oh, thank you, Bear. Bear of the West. I'm glad you liked that. No, I appreciate it. It's not going to stop me from making those interviews, those videos. It's just, if I'm going to do that, I have to do it more often so that YouTube gets used to it. or I'd have to start a second channel, and I don't want to do that. So I don't know. Maybe if I mean, I don't want to take anything from anyone specifically, but maybe if I put those behind the membership paywall, then they'd still be on my channel. People who don't want it wouldn't be exposed to it. And I don't think YouTube would punish me the way it does for having that kind of odd content on what's otherwise a game and accessory channel. So that might be one way of going about it. That's probably what I'll do. It's a great idea. Good job, Bear of the West. Thank you. You solved it. Huh. I'm going to get back to that, okay? I have one more key to give away for Action Hero. I'm going to give that away in a bit. That one for the members is still unclaimed, but this video is going to be on here long after we go live. So while I have 4 to give away, I'm going to reserve that 4th one for whenever that happens. And I'm going to give away that head strap at the end here. For now, I'm curious, have you guys been interested in the game Dino Hab? It came out days ago, maybe a week or two. When did it come out? Recently. And I'm not going to be making a review of it physically. Like, I'm not going to drop a video on it, I don't think. But I'd be happy to talk about it briefly if anyone's played it or has been curious about it. I'm not sure what the demographic is there for that. Yeah. Bear of the West says what some channels do is put their interviews on Patreon to view. Oh, for free. I didn't read that. To encourage people to buy a membership. That's an even better idea. That's a really good idea. It would be nice to, like, I don't know. Patreon takes a much smaller chunk than YouTube does. And so there's that. But, you know, in this climate, I could get canceled any day now, and then I'd lose YouTube, and I don't want that. So I guess there's a few reasons to have Patreon as a backup, and, you know, that's not a bad idea. I don't want to put it behind a paywall. Not necessarily. So that's actually a really good idea. I might do that. It's not Dino Hub. Dino Hab. Like habitat. It's like a... let's see if I can pull this up. Actually, it's going to be complicated pulling that up on the fly. But it's... It's a game where you're in the Jurassic or Triassic period and you're given an egg. You're like a time traveler, I think. And it's just, you have to, what did like Tamagotchi stuff? Like, you have to like keep it warm and it hatches, and then you have to like give it shade and feed it, and it grows and it popes, and you gotta just raise a dinosaur. In the beginning, it's like a Triceratops, and I don't know. It was okay. It is a VR game. Did I say Dino Hub? Is that what you're saying? Did I say Dino Hub? I probably did. If I did, I'm sorry. Dino Hab. Hab. Apologies. But yeah, it's this thing where the Triceratops... Let me pull this up. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Hang on a second. All right, so we're going to do add display capture. Let's shrink this down. Sorry, this is like on the fly, so. But we got it right here.
Travel back in time to save your dinosaurs
So this is Dino
and their
Hack.
habitats. Raise your
And to
baby
its credit,
dinosaurs
you
from
know,
hatchlings
like
to powerful adults.
in my memory when I'm thinking about this, that was
As a Paleoguard cadet,
T-Rex
you will
coming
have
at
access to an inventory of
I didn't
prehistoric
use
plants,
a lot of the
tools,
AR stuff.
and an AI companion.
Probably
As you
get in
take
there
on the
if I'm
challenge
gonna
of restoring
talk
life
about it at all. I
and
should be
balance,
able to talk about
while taking on evolving
that.
ecosystems with
'Cause
their
it seems to
own
be
climate,
a big aspect of it, but
environmental events,
it's like it'll go
flora,
up to a
fauna,
plant and kind of
and
just like
fungi.
make this
Your
chomp,
progress
chomp,
will
chomp
help
sound,
bring
and
the
then
herds
plant
back,
disappears,
earn you
and then there's
rewards,
like
and
a sound
unlock
like,
new
"Doo-doo,"
habitats.
and then
Your
a bar that
dinosaurs
says,
are waiting.
Good job, you fed your dinosaur. And you know the dinosaurs are fine, I guess, but it's that kind of a thing that I don't know. It's just kind of janky, and you know it's MetaQuest. You can't expect it to be a thing where like it tugs on the plants and it, you know, oh my gosh, my dogs are going crazy. All right, what is this? I know there is an advertised MetaQuest 3 VR game, mixed reality, where you raise an animal. I think what you're talking about there is Stay Forever Home, I think. I featured that in some VR news a couple weeks ago, and it's not out yet, and I don't have access to it. That's probably what you're talking about. And I'm actually excited for that game. Not that that's my thing. I don't expect I'm going to be... I don't know. If I'm in VR, I'm not going to be, you know, feeding a pet in VR. But, you know, if I'm going to have a pet dog, that dog looks really cute. And it seems like it's got these mannerisms that are well done. And it does tug on the heartstrings. And so it seems like that's doing it right. But I haven't tried that. Oh, crap. You guys couldn't hear me over the trailer. I'm sorry. Oh, my desktop audio's up all the way. Your girlfriend is the demographic. Well, my daughter and my wife are the demographic too. So I'm so out of touch, you know? Like, when I think of like I review a lot of games, but I got torn apart for reviewing Behemoth, you know? Like, and I don't want to get into it again. Behemoth was actually really well done, and the updates they brought to the game were pretty wild. Like, they fixed a lot of stuff. But my reviews are always kind of tainted by this thing where I just have a preference for games. And so I can say that the textures are this, and this is pretty, and it doesn't glitch, and that would make it a good game in its own right. But I can't help but, you know, throw my own biases into it, you know, things I don't like about certain VR games, and it taints it, and I don't know. Bear of the West. Gotta say, I expected VR reviews to mostly be negative or mostly positive for Alien VR, but I'm surprised it was a mix of both. Yeah. Alien Rogue Incursion was interesting because it's something I didn't take issue with in my review. I think most people, if someone hated that game, they hated it for two reasons. One, because they dropped on us at the last second that it's part one of at least a two-part series. And so there's this question, were we supposed to get a full game to begin with? And did they cut it in half at the very end for the sake of time? And did we just get robbed? And then two, people felt like the aliens were repetitive and, you know, they were cool, but how many aliens could there possibly be on the ship? And they all come from the roof, the ceiling, and the, you know, cabinets or vents or whatever. And so, you know, those are fair criticisms. I can see it completely. I probably should have mentioned the issue surrounding the part one release, but it didn't concern me because the game was enthralling enough. And I assumed, probably wrongly, for all I know, I have no idea, but I assumed that it was like, what was that Jurassic World thing? was kind of a play on like Alien Annihilation, kind of. What was that game with the raptors and got to hide under tables? I can't remember, but you know, that was a multi-part series, and no one bit our heads off for it. Eagle Stewart. You know, I haven't tried home sports yet. I need to. That's going to be... A lot of people are digging that. But no, I don't play a lot of home sports, honestly. But you know why? A lot of that has... I don't play a lot of multiplayer at all outside of Population 1. And for a long time when there was a player base, what was the game? Deathlap. Yeah, it was episodic. But I mean, it was still a pretty fully fleshed game. It was like kind of a comic booky, you know? They did a lot with very little in that sense. What's this say? Theo56 says, for me, it doesn't stick that you are able to fight aliens at all in alien games. Alien Isolation shows this relenting predator. Yeah, you're right. And instead, they're giving us these hordes of aliens that we mow through. I agree. You know, I mean, I agree. Alien Isolation was special because it was like this one thing hunting you and you were kind of helpless, and it was more about hiding than anything else. And that was great. I do admit that, you know, you shoot enough aliens and it only takes like 20 bullets to kill them. And at some point, you do feel like these are just raccoons kind of out of control. And, yeah, I agree completely. But there were enough moments of tension in Alien Rogue Incursion that I forgive it. You know, there were enough moments where it played to my kind of claustrophobia, and it played to just... It did the sound effects so well that it gave me some of that at times in a memorable way that I really enjoyed it. But you're not wrong at all. Eagle Stewart says he's still playing Batman and it's still awesome. I'm glad to hear it, man. Bear of the West says, I will say it creates a confusion because Alien Rogue Incursion is set in the same time period as Alien Isolation. Is that true? I don't know if you saw. I read something on X just the other day saying that they've announced that by popular demand they're coming out with Alien Isolation Part 2. And I really wonder if they're going to make that VR. I really wonder. They never gave it to us. Like, we had that Mother mod, which I couldn't play. I've got it installed on my computer right now, but I can't play it. Something about my Windows build or something. There was some hiccup I couldn't overcome, and I spent a lot of time trying to get it done, which sucks. I really wanted to. I can play like Subnautica just fine in VR, but the Mother mod I could not get to work. But with how much praise that's got, and with how big the Quest, you know, ecosystem is kind of taken off, I wouldn't be surprised if they leaned into it and gave us VR up front. That would be cool. I would love to have that. Starship Troopers, fun shooting large bugs. I watched that movie just a few weeks ago, actually. What's that guy's name? Herzog? Is that his name? Director of... yeah, all those great movies. Multiple reviews highlighted this connection to. Okay. See, I didn't watch any other reviews. I'd probably benefit from watching reviews and, you know, getting an idea of like some of the things other people are saying, but I rarely want to be bogged down with, you know, an opinion that's going to sway me like that. But it would have been good to know here. Wait, Atheo56, you say it's a cheap excuse to make use of the motion sensor in Rogue Incursion, if that's true. What are you talking about? I'm not sure what you mean when you talk about the motion sensor. Are we talking about the sequel to Alien Isolation? Is that what you're talking about? Marcusor says, wouldn't mind a more Earth Defense Force VR, but I fully feel Isolation and Rogue Incursion did what they were aiming for very well. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's they nailed the atmosphere. The ship and the sound effects are magic. I love that they got the. I mean, it's a small thing, but I love that they got the soundtrack. I don't know. It's a kick-ass atmosphere, but the more I play it, I agree. You know, it is kind of a cheap thrill having so many aliens that you just mow down when it's supposed to be the ultimate killing machine. You know, like one on a ship is instant death. Like there's no way out. Okay, and Theo says in Rogue Incursion. Yeah. Has anyone beat Alien Rogue Incursion yet? I haven't beat it. I need to. I want to. I'm deep into it now, but there's so many things to review. So many games to play. That's the thing that sucks about being a content creator, even as small as me. It's like 4 years ago, I could just play Half-Life Alyx all day long. And that's all I was doing was just playing Half-Life Alyx. And now it's like, I can't put more than like 3 hours of, between my full-time job and this, I can't put more than like 2 or 3 hours into a game on a daily basis. And it takes forever to beat anything. I got to pick and choose very carefully. Wait, Bear says, also learned yesterday, Skydance devs of Behemoth, their first big game was a mech fighting VR game. Hang on, what is that? I show they're responsible for Behemoth, The Walking Dead series, Archangel from 2017, Sorcery for the PS3 back in 2012, PWND from 2017. What's that? Oh, I got images now. Hang on. Oh, you're talking about Archangel then, from 2017 for PC and PS4, but that wouldn't have been. Or was it VR? Because they could have used the PSVR with that. Interesting. Is it VR? Was the PSVR even out in 2007? No, that wasn't out back then, was it? But yeah, I think that's what you're probably talking about based on the image. What? Bear says that he only learned this yesterday, but early development Alien Isolation was actually a VR game. Demoed as a VR game, and some files in Alien Isolation are from a VR build. God damn it. Why can't we have nice things? Well, okay, Thea, when you say sensor though, like you've brought this up a couple times. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. You're talking about the sensor, and you're saying you think it allows them to link other Alien VR titles with a successful Alien game like Alien Isolation. What sensor? See, I thought you were talking about like the depth sensor on the physical MetaQuest 3, but that would have nothing to do with the game. So, are you talking about an in-game sensor? Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. You're talking about the thing that connects the two games in the world, in the universe, the similarities and what links them. I got it. I'm sorry. I'm positive that's what you're talking about. Okay, I'm an idiot. Let's see. Well, it's a 20-hour runtime, but I think people have done it in like 8, you know. You just can't hang around and you got to kind of power through it quickly and not stick around, right? All right. So, really quick, because I'm only around for another 20 minutes probably. Da, da, da. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, he's talking about the tool. Yeah, I was late putting that together. I'm sorry. And here is the last key for Action Hero that I'm giving away. That's 3 I've handed out. It's kind of first come, first serve. I'm sorry. But grab it if you need it. And then there is 1 key left, but that is going to be reserved for the first person to join memberships, any tier. And whether that's today or tomorrow or next week, it's fine. Doesn't matter. That person, if you're watching this and you end up doing that, just find me on Discord. We'll get it done. I don't know. I'm having fun talking about games, but I'm pretty well done talking about Action Hero. I mean, I feel like we covered a lot of it. And I'll make a full video, like I mentioned, you know, fully dedicated, edited thing in the next few days. You already bought Action Hero. I hope you saved 20%. What games are you guys playing right now that either new or old that have got you guys busy? Vendetta Forever. I got to play that early on before it released, and I made a video of it. But it was pretty quick. I didn't get to spend as much time in there as I wanted, but I covered the mechanics and kind of what it was like. But no, that is a cool game. It's cool kind of revisiting some of those locations. I think they had like Scarface, if I remember right. It was cool visiting those. Into the Radius. I have a copy of Into the Radius 2, and they're still kind of building it. When I first landed that game, there wasn't even a campaign available on PC. It was just kind of tinkering around. But I think that's been updated. I need to jump back in. No, you're fine to not like Super Hot. I mean, it's been out for so long. It's cool, you know, maneuvering through it, but it is kind of one note, you know, I guess. I could see that. Nothing wrong with Batman, dude. Nothing wrong with Batman. And I saw today they just dropped an update that fleshes some stuff out. I don't know what. I can't remember. I need to jump back in. There you go, dude. There you go. People who don't have gaming PCs get tired of people talking about Half-Life Alyx. And Half-Life Alyx it's 4 years old now, you know, but I don't know. What can you do? It's an amazing game. It's the benchmark for me, for a lot of us. Anyone talking about Half-Life Alyx all the time, it's the benchmark. Like, there isn't a thing about it I I would change. I really enjoyed every second of it. Every second. And I've played it like 3 times all the way through. And it's just a blessing every single time. There's a faster head crab mod. I've been playing that. Well, I played the. What's the mod that Return to Rapture? I played that all the way through. That was fun. Battle Glide. Eagle Stewart says Spider-Man-like game. You will go all gun happy and actually kill. Mike Demand's here. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you're here. And 10 Speed. Hello again. Grimford VR. What's Grimford VR? I don't know things. Oh, wait. What did you write? What did you write? Did I... Oh. Grimlord. The screen's so small. It's so far away. I don't know. Okay, yes, Grimlord VR. I'm sorry. 10 Speed says he finished Half-Life Alyx a couple days ago. What PC games do I recommend? Let me pull this up here. I got a few, dude. I got to look at my library, though. It's like that thing where I've read like 200 books. Like, I've read physical copies of, like, you know, The Count of Monte Cristo and, like, all these books from the 19th century, but I got to look at a list to know what I've read. Like, I can't just shout it out. So let's do this. Steam library. Let's do this. I'll just share this whole screen here. So going down my list of games, Seventh Guest VR was cool, kind of like Myst, you know? Rogue Incursion. Oh my gosh. You know what? It's not VR. It's not VR, but if I can recommend a game, and tell me if you guys have played. I got to jump down here. Where is it? It's by the guys who made Amnesia. Soma. Soma's such a good game, dude. It's like, it's one of like the 3 best video games I've ever played. It's so good and so scary. I love that game. But it's not VR. You know, people like Boneworks. Boneworks is cool. It's not, you know, it's like ragdoll physics, and it's kind of a cool sandbox thing, but I don't know. It's not entirely my thing. Compound is amazing. It looks silly, like it's this low poly thing, you know, or not low poly, but like a low resolution thing. But in the game, it harkens back to like Doom. It's very cool being in Compound with a gun stock. Elite Dangerous is wild, but my God, the learning curve is enormous. Gravel and Little Nightmares are a lot of fun in VR using the, what's it called? The Unreal Engine injector. Jet Island is amazing. Jet Island's old. When did that come out? 2021. Feels like it was much older than that. But Jet Island is a... Here, I'm going to pull this up. Let's... Wait, this is... That's 10 minutes long. What? Maybe. What? Oh, there we go. Yeah, someone, who was it, talking about that game that's like Spider-Man. I mean, you don't do that with this, but your arms are cannons, and so you kind of use that to propel yourself. And it's this super simple, you know, kind of blocky terrain, but they do the gravity so well, and it's such an expansive game. Oh yeah, and you do have those, yeah, that's right. You've got these kind of cables that you can fly around with. So it is similar in that sense. But it's a big game. It's cool. And it's cheap. We don't have to watch that whole thing. I can't see the comments when I'm playing that, so. But that gives you the idea. There we go. Let me see what, where am I at? Oh, there's so much happening, and I missed all of it because of that. Yeah. Metro Awakening. That was another one that got me in hot water, you know. I was mostly impressed with the like the game is the exact same across both PC VR and standalone. I was impressed with the lighting, you know. People accused it of being this standalone first and then PC VR, which I agree. Like I could go on a whole rant with that. People talk about how standalone is ruining VR because we want these big, beautiful games, and then we sacrifice so much to fit it on a Quest. And I've seen it real time when we first got like Onward and even Population 1. I've got footage in a previous video of Population 1. When that thing first dropped, PCVR, billions of blades of grass, beautiful, lush trees, and like vibrant brick walls. Like it was this really, I mean, for PCVR at the time, semi-photorealistic thing. And then they took it from us and turned everything into the standalone quality. And that was a bummer. Onward did the exact same thing. And in that sense, I agree. It's bad for VR when they do that. As someone who has, you know, PCVR, I completely agree with that sentiment. But also, you know, we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for Meta and them kind of taking over the industry like this. I mean, how many millions of people are in VR for the first time because of it? And those millions of people will eventually, one way or another, graduate to PC VR, given enough time, I think, at least if the interest kind of grabs them. And it's good for the industry as a whole. I do wish that people put more attention toward PC VR, but I understand why they don't. But anyway, I was talking about Metro. Metro is... I was impressed with the lighting, you know, and the shadows cast by animals. Like, that's what I was looking at. I come from a background of, like, you know, sculpting in 3D using Strata Pro. And, you know, it's always cool to see these extra textures, even as someone just playing a game, you know, and it's cool seeing that kind of stuff implemented. And so I was happy with it. And I thought that especially in the subways, that the rock and gravel floors and the wood, it all looked very good on PC VR, and it looked decent in the MetaQuest 3, and I was impressed with it. But like I said, that PC VR eating up VR, other games on standalone got in the way of that review, I think. No one talks about Asgard's Wrath anymore. Well, I mean, I never played the first Asgard's Wrath. I played the second one, and I thought it was cool. But, I mean, Asgard's Wrath was strictly PC. I should get in there and see what that's like. It would be cool to play a game like that on those with those high-quality graphics. Until You Fall. That's another one that, yeah, everyone references that. That's like the baseline for those Swords and Sandals games. Well, it's Quest exclusive, but you can play it on PC. Yeah, Oculus. Yeah. No, you're right. Lies Beneath. Dude, Lies Beneath is fantastic. But that's... Wait, do you play that on Rift PC and get enhanced graphics? I've only played that on standalone, and I thought it was an incredible game. I loved how they did so much with like very little, using that kind of comic book style. Do you get enhanced graphics by playing it on the PC? Let me know. And yes, Theo, you should try Jet Island. How much is it now? I'd be shocked if it's more than like $9. I don't know. I'm not going to leave this screen again. We need these big, beautiful VR games that need a massive budget for games that... Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, I'm not wrong. People want that. But you're right. The market doesn't, there's no room for it, Yeah, I agree. And it's becoming better, standalone. Ten Speed says, do you think you'll try a PC racing game with your new driver setup? Yeah, I've mostly been sticking to Dirt 2 because it's tried and true. I like that game. It's worked well. And I tried Exocars. I didn't end up making a video on that, but yeah, I've tried it. Surprisingly, I found myself, because I think I can even, it's covered in boxes right now, but I've got a wheel in the middle and then a HOTAS on the left and right, and I've just been playing flight sims mostly with it, mainly because the flight sims are nice. They respond very well, and the wheel has this feedback that kind of kicks, and there's some resistance, and you feel it vibrate on the dirt road, but there's no resistance in the pedal. It's like this cheap, $80 thing I got on eBay, and I need to upgrade that so I can have a better experience driving. Bear of the West. Would you say the level and gameplay variety in Metro Awakening is a lot better than Arizona Sunshine 1 and 2? Have you tried Arizona Sunshine 2, though, with the reboot? Because I have not tried that yet, but that looks really good. I would say that it's time to be honest. Are you ready? I've never played Arizona Sunshine 1 and 2. I've never touched it. I feel like zombie games are oversaturated, and I don't touch them that often as a result. But Arizona Sunshine 2, with the kind of updated graphics, looks so good. I've actually requested a key from Meta, and I fully plan on making a video for it. So that's the truth. I can't speak to it, but I want to. Well, Eagle Stewart, you're not wrong. And I'm not making excuses, standalone is PCVR is not better than standalone, broadly speaking. One is for one person, another is for another person, there are a lot of people who are going to be just completely and utterly content with, Asgard's Wrath 2 or Beat Saber or Synth Riders, in which case those latter two, in fact, all of them, because Asgard's Wrath 2 is an exclusive title, all of those, they look great regardless of, like Beat Saber, you don't get anything aside from an easier way of uploading custom music between standalone and PCVR. So yeah, if those are the kinds of games you're playing, it makes no sense to go the route of PCVR. But for those who do have PCVR, playing something like Half-Life Alyx or Jet Island, you're not tethered. I mean, I play virtual desktop. I have a modem and a router downstairs, and then I have Ethernet piped up through the wall to here, and I have a second router here that's a bridge. And so I just connect my headset to the Wi-Fi upstairs or downstairs, depending on where I am, and I can move around the house just fine. And because I have a gaming laptop, I can take it with me. So I take it to my dad's all the time, and we play, games over there. So no, it's expensive and it's not for everyone, but any downsides outside of price can be overcome, with like virtual desktop. Sorry, Eagle Stewart again says, do you recommend treadmills? Hang on, I'm going to come back to that because I got Bear the West here. After trying Arizona Sunshine 1, I don't think you're missing much. It has so little unique, interesting set pieces, in my opinion. Just move forward and kill zombie hordes. Rinse, repeat. That's a bummer. That's kind of what I expect. That's what I picture in my head, but I was hoping that it would have more meat on its bones. I'll still probably try it. Enough people want to see it that, maybe I'll have a different take. I don't know. Eagle Stewart, you asked about treadmills. I've spent a lot of time reaching out to people about treadmills, something like that. They've offered to let me use one to review it, but I have to go to them. I have to pack up my crap and go to Anchorage or wherever they are, and it's just I can't afford that. I'm trying to go to CES this year, which is in 2 weeks. I qualified just a few days ago. I had to hit that 40,000 a month mark, and I finally did it. And they won't take my screenshots of my analytics, and so I don't know. But hopefully, if I make it there, I'll have access to some of those treadmills and some new tech, and I'll be able to talk about it. But as of now, I've never used a treadmill. I fully expect that a treadmill is cool, but exhausting, difficult to set up, and probably something that you would rarely use. That's how a lot of this tech goes. I use the ProTube all the time because it's just easy to set up. Oh. Hang on one second here. Hey, babe, I'm live streaming.
Sorry, I have some questions about tomorrow.
I have to call you back, babe. I'm sorry. I love you. Text me and I'll answer. Okay?
It's more complicated than that, and it's about the surgery.
Sorry about that. Okay. So I have to wrap this up, I think. My wife wants to talk to me. This last thing I'm giving away. Well, let me answer these questions first. Let me make sure I get all this done. Have you played Dying Light 1? It's flat screen. Yes, briefly. I played it with my family. Multiplayer. That's the exact setup I'm trying to get. Currently looking for a modem and router in one, but it's around 300. They're expensive, dude. All right, you guys. Here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, for the purpose of just keeping things simple, the first person to join that membership. Let me make sure no one's done it yet. Yeah, the first person to join that membership, I'll give you guys that head strap as well on top of the last key. And that's all I got. I mentioned at the top of the hour that MetaQuest 3S. I'm going to be giving that away. In a previous video, I was talking about the Scaniverse, and in that video, I featured a tree that I scanned. And there's hints where that is. And if you can find that tree, if you can physically go there and scan that tree and upload it to the map alongside mine, be the first to do that. Hit me up on Discord with a link, and I'm going to send you a MetaQuest 3S. Not for everyone, you know, it's going to be who's out on the road. But if you happen to find it, then best of luck to you. All right, I got to end this here, you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much. And I got to bail. All right, you guys. Godspeed.